of the career all-time records. Has a .402 all-time hitting percentage, which is good for 4th in the nation. And then 1.32 blocks per set, tied with Raynell. Evans over to Mendelson, just checking into the game, and Evans and Mendelson teaming up to get the point.
But Dowler had a little bit of trouble with the initial hit from Gomillion. It's not going to set up so well for Sire. It's a really nice block. We haven't seen much of that from Wisconsin, from Nebraska. Yeah, I know. I don't know what's going. Hey, it's Sunday. You know?
Seems like Michigan State is going to have to try and rally some energy in front of their home crowd, hitting -176 in this set. It has been a struggle against blocking like that all match long.
Caitlin Horde and Maggie Mendelson have been so lethal up front, getting their hands over so.
It's great to see Batenhorst consistently on the floor. She missed a couple matches in September with injury. Just a lot of smiles over there on the side of the Big Red. Bishop is looking to set up Abby Owen, and again, Nebraska absolutely dominant.
They really have not had a good attempt at a kill early on.
Lonstein with the serve. Michigan sets Boney, but she's denied at the net. 8-2 Cornhuskers.
Yeah, Maggie Mendelson, 6'5" middle blocker, just
business administration and a master's in entrepreneurship and innovation, and now playing for Michigan. Look at Rodriguez respond to that one. Krause denied. Johnson setting Murray, and blocked there by Mendelson. Substitution for Nebraska as Allie Batenhorst comes in. That time Murray is denied. And 9 digs today for Merzick, so she's closing in on a double-double.
wow, these liberos are playing outstanding defense.
Well, that time Mendelson went with a quick one, and
on the pins.
This, by the way, the only meeting this regular season between Nebraska and Michigan. Grant will keep it in play, and Murray will just get it across. So here's a chance for Nebraska. Can't do much with it. One more try. Evans for Mendelson. Dug out by Grant. Look at Rodriguez. What a play. And at the other side, Grant. And another block for Nebraska.
Yeah, this time Lindsey Krause gets in on the action. We haven't called her name much.
Letting her rest on the bench, Maggie Mendelson is in and playing on the right side.
Maggie last played against Michigan. There have been 5 matches since. She attacks in the middle, and she drops it down. How about that? Just fresh as a cucumber off the bench, and Mendelson slams it to the donut. The Big Reds up 11.
Mendelson into the middle. There's Maggie Mendelson, another freshman for Nebraska out of Ogden, Utah. Alec off the top of the block. Colheed shut down by Becca Alec.
Big read by Becca Alec up front, facing her middle, having her shoulders to the.
Here on the road to face Nebraska, ranked 4th in the nation, then to Wisconsin, number 3. There's Saracen. Alec again with the block.
Alec with a big close to Maggie Mendelson.
Ricard, yeah, just kept it alive. And then a good save by Ricard.
Kinsey Knuckles getting involved in the offense from the back row.
There is Mendelson right on the line. Good swing by Maggie Mendelson.
Great read there by Mendelson. He's into right now, and again, he had earned that. You know, took 800 wins to get that.
Lonstein with the big block there. He's not a guy that goes half in. Big block. Harper Murray. And then the rules changed right as those offers started coming in, and so nobody could talk to her for 2 years. Even though she knew she was being offered, she couldn't accept or talk to any coaches after those rules changed.
Well, and she's from Ann Arbor, you know, and she's got a sister that's playing.
She was named best setter in the Pan American Cup Games in 2022. That was the U19 team. A lot of international experience. Not just Bergen Riley, but a lot of international experience on the floor. And there is Mendelson with a block. Mendelson again, pushing the middle a little bit here late. Middleton's delivered twice.
Part of that group of 5 to play in all 29 matches last year. She was 3rd on the squad in digs last year. So Nebraska's going to look to keep the ball away from her.
At least challenging this Husker defense.
The San Jose transfer into Kyle. With excellent placement, working through the hands, and there's Maggie Mendelson. I mean, she hits it so hard. 6'2" hitter with long arms, and one heck of a jump. I wonder what her vertical is. One dug out by Jones. Stogner saves it. Mischler kept the attack alive initially. Riley sends that one over. Batenhorst was ready for the possibility of an attack. Whoa. And then clap in unison. Murray serve. Set up by Hudipole. Kill attempt finds Rodriguez. Stogner not able to get the kill there. Set by Smith, set by Hudipole. That one blocked there by the Big Red. Rodriguez to Riley. In the back comes Harper Murray. That ball bouncing around. Keeping it alive is Delaney Smith. Great second effort. Riley over. Maggie Mendelson didn't even have to barely jump.
Playing more toward the right, so that was the exact spot she wanted to hit the ball.
Hayworth, tight to the net. Boy, great reaction there from Riley and Mendelson right there to put it down.
Yeah, Mendelson coming off the bench and doing a really good job of just creating.
And West Lafayette also drops set number 1 to the Boilermakers. I think you mentioned it as the overpass goes to Mendelson, who puts it down. I think you mentioned it earlier, but Purdue late in the 4th went on a 9-0 run.
There's a serve from the back left side. Perfect pass from Choboy. There's Mendelson out of the middle, picking up a start and picking up a kill early on.
Team in the nation.
Murray, good pass on that serve from Chitty. Mendelson!
A talk on the sideline, and Mendelson comes out and fires one.
Murray now, that was her 3rd kill of the match. Here's Riley with the serve. Great pass there from Dierstad. Again, and there's a block.
The block up front with Maggie Mendelson, who slid over on that one to help out. Harper Murray back to serve again, something she's struggled with the most this season.
Riley trying to finish out set 3 cleanly for Nebraska, 19-6. Outside attempt here for Humphrey, kept alive. Mendelson on the backside, and she finishes.
It's a nice serve from Looper, but a dime of a pass. And how about that wicked swing from Maggie Mendelson? It was a big emphasis for Penn State to get their middles involved with the pin powerhouses that they have.
That came from
number 2. Pitt at 3, and how about that? Penn State is lighting it up offensively right now.
It's all about the serve and pass. If you're pass
offensively to hitting 100. Not great numbers. You want to be above 300 for sure at the caliber that these two teams are playing. Silver medalists at the 2012 Summer Olympics for Team USA. Tip from Merzick trying to get some offense in a tie game situation. Tie set, and that is a big block for Penn State, who desperately needed some momentum here in set number 2.
You know, when you hit the
Mendelson leading the way with 7 for Penn State. Nice pass from Elena Scott. Tip was an obvious one to the middle. Stark uninvolved in the offense. Big block to go against for Louisville. And Looper will send the free ball right into the basket of Penn State and joust at the net. Won by who else but Jess Merzick.
Yeah, Elena Scott was kind of chilling there, ready.
That could be problematic for Louisville. Keep an eye on it. Nice. Off the net pass for the beer. Just a little bit too far, though. It made it easy to read for the Penn State block.
In their couple of matches prior to this, they took down Davidson and FIU 1 weekend ago. Haven't got that going yet in this matchup, though. Quick set to the middle. Mendelson capitalizes on her approach and put the ball down. Elo with her 4th kill, leading this Blue Devils squad, but you got to deal with Mendelson on the other side.
And she's able to target those corners. As middles, you really want to target those deep corners. They are undefendable.
Mendelson for the match, finds the floor. Penn State closes it out. Their 10th straight non-con win as the Nittany Lions take down the Blue Devils in straight sets. I mean, just a dominant showing.
Here's Gracie Wood. Received by Grimes. The back set to Jaravicious. She'll try to tip it through. Nudikor was there to send it back. Now here's Angelina Stark on the left side. Pin played up by Bull. The back set, Draper to a sliding Scalamandre. And it's Mendelson and Stark there for the denial.
Penn State giving Princeton a taste of their own medicine in terms of the blocks. Really been nice defensively at the net so far today.
Draper will send it up, and Cheney just has to push a free ball over. Now here's Mendelson once again from the right side, and she has just been crushing it.
Kick in so far for Penn State in this set. Bit of a slow start, but they've really ramped things up these last couple of points.
Did the early morning coffee kick in for you as well, Josh?
Well, no comment on that.
It did for me a little bit.
That is a conversation for after this point, Casey.
It's Mendelson to Stark. Scalamandre dug up by Hannah. Long rally here. Mendelson knocks it off the top of the block. Now here's Draper. Scalamandre sent back by Angelina Stark. They'll try the opposite pin, and Nudikor is denied. Mendelson and Izzy Stark that time. So it's been Mendelson and both Stark sisters who have just been leading it out. As the Penn State bench does the shark fin on their heads for Angelina. And then there's Izzy with the block along with Maggie Mendelson once again.
These games that can seem close end up becoming runaways for Penn State. Walter sends it to Grimes. Izzy Stark was behind her, and Jaravicious hates the back line, and we're back knotted at 6.
Again, just finding the gap. St. John's has done a really... Sometimes timeouts can really just switch the momentum. It's just a nice stoppage of play, and then we'll see who picks it back up.
Allows teams to take a breather. Stark over to Merzick. One-on-one with Solano Smith. She kept that one up. They won't do it that time. It's a double block. Izzy Stark and Maggie Mendelson, and of the best players in the Big Ten, best players in the country, period. Jillian Grimes sends it away. And Aaron Jones winds up. Solano Smith saves it. Walter gets stonewalled. Mendelson and Jaravicious. The two former Cornhuskers get it done.
Them live together,
yes.
Or sisters.
Yes, even sisters with Izzy and Angelina, as one of the sisters sends it to Maggie Mendelson. Merzick gets it to Walter. Kowalczyk sets up the play. Jones tried to drive and again a stonewall by Mendelson and Jaravicious.
That one that they came out firing went up 3-0. Now St. John's is coming back at them.
Wonder what Joanne Persico said to them in that timeout after they started off down 3-0. And a block by Stark and Mendelson.
Annie Smith back to serve for James Madison, senior from Jupiter, Florida. Grimes, tough handle, and now Stark from the back row. James Madison a little out of system. They'll feed Reed again. She's jousted at the net, and it's blocked and won by Caroline Jaravicious. Now within 2 are the Dukes. Again, a float serve. Penn State can't handle it. A free ball for the Dukes. Winrick, near side Schnell, denied. Maggie Mendelson, the Nebraska transfer.
throughout the season.
Merzick has really established herself as a leader, the grad student, a transfer, but also a captain for Penn State. Tipped up, Grimes digs. Izzy Stark, back row to her sister. Big swing, dug out nicely by Clemmer. Now on the near side, Reed, denied. Now over to Schnell. Big left-handed swing, blocked again. Winrick, right back to Schnell, blocked, and this time it hits pavement.
I think she hit Mendelson's hand to be able to get the touch on that.
Even Katie Schumacher-Colley getting in on the action. Watkins now to Veldman. Dug out by Angelina Stark. Now to her sister, Merzick. Dug out by McNeely. Watkins tried to dump it. It's kept alive by Mendelson. Watkins this time down the middle to Smith. Hit off the net. Izzy Stark sets Merzick. This rally has been long. Ilter now trying to finish it off. Kept alive. Jousting at the net. Punched forward by Mendelson, and McNeely dives but can't get it.
Who got the hit? This one, they team up to be able to get the ball down on the other side.
Watkins to Ilter. This one blocked. And it looks like Mendelson may have gotten a hand on it once again. Breck Hall on its feet. The serve. Veldman. Watkins on the slide. It's Annie Smith. Juravicius is there. Izzy Stark to Mendelson. Right in the middle of the defense. And Penn State wins 3-0. They sweep here in Happy Valley.
Great start for the Nittany Lions in this Penn State class.
Jess Merzick had a great performance in last year's tournament matchup between these two teams. 19 kills, hitting .486 en route to the Penn State first round victory. Here it's Stark to Mendelson, and Mendelson drops the anvil for the kill. For the Bulldogs as they cash in. Now this is Mendoza with the serve. Mendelson the slide. This time they'll connect. Grimes will receive it. Mendelson sliding over. Maggie Mendelson once again from the right side. 3 kills on 5 swings for the junior.
It's pretty good statistics there, Casey. There was nothing Yale could do about it.
Mendelson does a nice job kind of sliding over again and then getting the cross-court swing for this team. Yesterday, 31 assists, 8 digs, 5 kills for the setter. Mendelson kept alive. Goodnow sends it over. Penn State will look for another chance. They'll go to Mendelson, and she wasn't going to leave any doubt on the second swing.
There was just such good communication by Penn State on that play. They passed it back and forth.
To keep the ball up, that's what you got to do. The senior makes a big play at a big point in the match. Stark took some speed off it to try and get a side out for Penn State. Goodnow the swing. Nathan there to play it. This is Stark. Teal gets a fist under it that time. Mendoza running in from the back row. Chukwumeri J once again. It's kept up by Grimes and Nathan. Stark sends it over. Now to Goodnow, right side. Denied by Angelina Stark. A solo stuff.
Their power started off really strong and then came away with it.
8th block of the match for Penn State. Make it 9.
He was just able to swing it back over to their side.
Yeah, Stark was able to retrieve it at the net as Grimes was able to get it to her quickly. Now Stark to Mendelson, right through the middle.
4 times, but the sections of the court, the right side of the court is being used, the middle of the court is being used, out of the back row even. It's really impressive, especially as a freshman.
Another kill for Mendelson, that's her second.
Done a really good job at practicing her serve, putting a little extra heat on that, and it's dropping really nicely in front of these defenders.
Dropped right in front of Hornung there, and Penn State sets up the block. Juravicius.
Caroline Juravicius, that is one of the things that Coach Schumacher-Colley said that Caroline Juravicius has been working on.
And does so to great effect.
So the 4-0 run for the Spartans comes to an end. Now can the Nittany Lions go on one of their own? Jillian Grimes, the team's best server, is behind the service line. How long will she stay back there? Gonna get tipped back over. Moore got to it first. Merzick will get a swing. Kept alive by Ucia with an excellent dig. Now it's Juravicius on the right side pin. Kept up in the back row. Anderson over the double block for Penn State. Stark through the middle. Mendelson has it sent back. Kolig trying to dunk down the overpass. Grimes got under it to cover. Michigan State trying to end the rally, but Penn State will get a double block first with Mendelson and Juravicius.
11th service aces. That's tied for second with Izzy Stark on the team, only behind Jillian Grimes.
Crucially, 11 aces to just 7 errors for Faldudo, and the overpass from Mendelson. ready for play once more. Stark will receive it. Stark will set it for Mendelson.
Pop up at slow speed. You want to just take a whack at it, and sometimes just a little bit too hard.
Stark there for the serve receive that time, and Mendelson out of the middle. Ties her career high with 10 kills, and I don't know if she's going to be done there. Remember, Michigan State must win it to stay alive. Stark back set to a sliding Mendelson, who knocks it down.
We talk about Izzy Stark serving behind her, but serving behind her while
Ava Faldudo will try to end it. Played up by Bolton. Here's the swing from Preston, kept alive. Mendelson for the win! Penn State does it in rec hall, holding off a late Spartan surge for a 3-1 victory.
I don't care who you are, Casey. That was fun. What a game going back and forth. Michigan State controlling that first set, and then Penn State pouring it out.
4 of them are getting significant playing time. That tells you how well that they've been able to gel with this team quickly.
Grimes triggering the serve. Libero here for Penn State. Sydney Bryan has been emerging as a go-to performer for the Terps with that last touch. Tracked down by Sydney Dowler, 5th-year setter for the Terps, and the put away in the middle.
At the passers.
Her 13th ace of the year in match 14th of the season. And good work up the middle. Been a solid fixture. Coming off 12 digs last match against Michigan State in her role as defensive specialist. Dowler right into the teeth of the Penn State block. 3rd of the match here in this opening set for the Nittany Lions.
Izzy Stark and Maggie Mendelson working so well together. That's what makes Stark the biggest reason Maryland was able to storm back. Their backcourt defense picking up.
She had 19 digs in a big upset win for the Terps over Minnesota last year, and she's got a big dig start here in a potential upset of number 3 Penn State on the road. Mendelson, though, and Izzy Stark setting the tone here for set 2.
Mendelson in the middle, but with a freshman setter, so impressive to have those kind of numbers right away.
But well under those numbers in the opening set. Saw the easy put away, Stark running the middle for Grimes.
I mean, it's so difficult to just get this ball up, but to absolutely dime it like Grimes does, that is a...
See the Nittany Lions zooming on by after taking 6 of the last 7 points to go up 2. Snitta. Denied. Big block for Hannah and Mendelson. Timeout on the floor, and the Nittany Lions. We had a really engaging conversation with her at pass and serve practice today, the freshman who's so excited to be here and going through Big Ten competition this year. Penn State's block. It's trending upward for Oregon here on the road. Stark to Mendelson. 3rd kill of this night. Faldudo's serve handled by the Ducks. And Mendelson there with a big block. Again, played a pair of sports at Nebraska. Basketball, volleyball. Focusing here at the net in this sport and doing good things.
Defense up front, getting a little extra juiced up.
Quick run in the middle, and Mendelson there, reading it off the swing of Allie Williams in to serve here for Maryland. Mendelson had to stretch for that. It worked out. A little delay, got it over the block. Morris retreating to serve. Mendelson, money.
Easy side out on Penn State side when they're nailing the pass.
And what an attack from Juravicious.
Started off by Grimes. Juravicious coming in yet again. Bolton starts it off. Stark. Pushed over by Merzick. Kept inside.
Where the margin for error is incredibly slim. I mean, it's virtually nothing.
And that margin of error exploited yet again. Penn State getting the point there. Spartans really do have to play near perfect.
Set to send it away. High serve, sent over with the left hand. Puts Penn State reeling. Merzick, controlled there by Daphne. CAC pops it up. Saris again. Grimes dug it out. Set up by Stark. And Mendelson from the right side.
Especially on the net. Indiana able to come away with the point.
Cam Hayworth looking for that magic number 5 in aces today. More on that in a little bit. She sets up Saris, but it's denied at the net. Stark and Mendelson said,
And for Penn State, set her up. Keep setting her up.
Jillian Grimes puts Indiana on the move. The double block from CAC's kill and unable to save it. Carly Mills, a heck of an effort there. They have to capitalize up 2. Razor-thin margins in the Big Ten Conference. Stark, Mendelson, right down the pipe. Today, keep an eye on it. She needs 4 to tie, 5 to become the program's all-time ace leader. But Penn State won't go quietly.
Over physical and just dominating IU there.
Aldudo, the number 4 recruit in her class, sends it over. Saris is denied at the net. Stark and Mendelson.
We know they've been able to battle back from first set losses. Trying to do more of the same today, and another block.
Vickers tries to get it going on the other side of the net, and a double block again. Merzick and Mendelson this time.
All players with kills.
She's averaging 4.45 kills per set in her last 3 games. That's a big answer for Penn State.
Needs to try and limit her for the rest of this match.
Ludo puts Saris on the move. Hayworth going back to Saris. Blocked away. Penn State now with it. Stark, backside Mendelson. Unable to save it. For Indiana, Carly Mills on the dive. Penn State up 4.
You haven't seen Penn State take a... It has not been the services that have gotten points for either side.
9 combined serving errors between the two. Hayworth running the offense from the back line of CAC. Unable to get it over the net. Saris is going to try and answer. Can't get it through the hands of Stark and Mendelson. CAC has to be perfect. Controlled by Penn State. Mendelson ends the match for Penn State. The Nittany Lions survive.
What a great finish here in Bloomington. Look at Maggie Mendelson.
And she is able to take big swings. I like that flat swing right between zone 5-6 for the Buckeyes.
Wow, a absolute. Selman back to serve now. And Merzick struggling in serve receive. They're swinging her way out of it. Tuman to London on the opposite. Grimes, another back set to Merzick, a little bit inside. Merzick finds the roll shot. Tuman back to London, denied by Merzick, who says there was no other touch. I like that about her. She has a good mental attitude, has a good head about her. Back to the action. Ohio State goes to Reese Webker, tracked down by Stark. Jelena, the older sister of Izzy, the setter. Mia Tuman forces the middle, and a good choice. It's still alive. Oh my! Penn State gets it along. Jess Merzick with a chance to attack, and that has to feel good. Mark that as a potential momentum changing point for Penn State.
And perhaps maybe a little bit better of a block, at least lining up with the outside hitters for Ohio State.
Back to London, denied. Mendelson and Merzick put up a big physical block.
Man, how do you hit around that? If that ball is dying at the point of contact, the advantage definitely goes. But, you know, Coach Jen Flynn Oldenburg wants to see, you know, her team continue to be aggressive here.
Nice defensive play by Ava Feldudo. She's coming with a couple of those during her opportunities. And denied is Webker out on the pin. Penn State all over the matchup. Started with the dig, though. I love the way that Ava Feldudo, the freshman defensive specialist, has been playing. She's tracked down a couple of impossible balls, too.
Yeah, just low center of gravity, gets her forearms under the...
Future is bright. Better pass, still on the 10-foot line, though, for Izzy Stark. That one's dug up by Tuman, who's playing lights-out defense. And a great penetration on the block for Maggie Mendelson.
Yeah, Markley has really been a spark on that right side, and she's just setting up
the other team regardless of who it is. So good job at Penn State just to get down and let it go away.
Wooker, soft over. Merzick there to dig it out. Stark now. Back sets for Markley. She's rejected by Wooker. It's kept up. Now Wooker on the attack, pushes it over to Angelina Stark. Now Izzy Stark leaves it for Mendelson, pushed over, kept up. Palabiak. Wooker rejected by Mendelson and Markley.
But that's kind of been her signature move throughout the season. Usually pays off too.
9 consecutive matches coming in the day for Merzick with 10+ kills, 2 straight with 20+. She's on pace for that again. Soft pancake that time from Shaftmaster. Rejection by Mendelson. Anything but soft on that one.
But it goes the other way, and now the Nittany Lions up by 2.
Faldudo sends Palabiak to the floor on the serve. Merzick and Mendelson send back the attack. And now Stark and Mendelson send back another attack. This one, point for Penn State.
And drop yourself in the rankings, especially with how competitive the top of the polls have been.
Northwestern, the next team to face this Minnesota team that is headlined by Phoebe Awalea and what she can do defensively. Awalea on the attack that time. Good play by Stark. And now a block from the Nittany Lions, Markley and Mendelson. Really have to be impressed if you're Katie Schumacher-Colley with Alexa Markley.
There's Taylor Trammell going to the sideline, 6'2" graduate out of Lexington, Kentucky, hitting .450, second best in the conference, 6th best in the nation. And a Dobson through the block. Beautiful dig by Grimes, the libero. Transition opportunity. You were talking about this in that package before the match. Out to Merzick on the outside. That ball into the ball. Block. That blocked by Sheridan Leverett, 6-foot junior. Peyton Dewick wearing number 6 and the other libero jersey will play the other 5. Pretty good passing so far. And number 44, Mendelson, the transfer out of Nebraska, in versus Northwestern. So look for her to get started in the middle. A little bit of a decoy here and a better block as he starts along with Mendelson, number 21 and 44 respectively.
UCLA.
With the Olympic team that closed out with a silver medal in Paris. Second season with the UCLA Bruins. He always wanted to be a Bruin as a young libero growing up in nearby Oxnard, California, about 35 miles away. Penn State, number 3 in the country. Only 1 loss on their resume. That was to the Pitt Panthers. Good dig, perfectly done that time by Grimes. Chance for Merzick. Dewick right back at you. Good first contact. Stark stepping in. Chance in transition again for UCLA. Oh, but the block is there. Stark along with Mendelson.
We are seeing so much.
Played as an outside attacker, so maybe she can hit out of the back row. She's playing defensive specialist right now for UCLA. Nice dig. Beautiful ball by Breon. And a better block. So whether it's Alexa Markley or Caroline Jaravicius, the blockers out on the right pin are very good. And it was a fister. Oh, what a block. Trammell started things, and now Mendelson gets into the block party, number 44 in pink. 9 blocks now for Penn State.
Regardless of Penn State making a big stop, it still establishes.
Previously, she was the player of the year in Colorado before the family moved, so suffice it to say she's pretty darn good. Mendelson, right on cue. Beautiful delivery by Stark.
A fantastic quarterback makes everyone look better, but the pass.
And Mendelson one-on-one reacts to the back. USC got beaten soundly in the first set, had to call timeout early in the second. And here they are in front, looking to even things up with the number 3 team in the country. But Stark and company.
And they get, and then it's another miss serve.
Overpass, Mendelson cleans that up.
Where you have Demetrician as an outside hitter playing front row, backs her up. So she has a hard time with the hit.
Back set from Mendelson and spanks it on the slide. Penn State, again, had some struggles on offense earlier.
How to stop the bleeding is what she's probably thinking.
In. Out hitting Penn State here in this set. Required to be a successful hitter, especially in this conference. So we'll see if the ankle gets on the mitt. Ballette is playing it over. Merzik to Mendelson, who was able to adjust there on 2.
Iowa still needs 5 more. Garcia's going to loop this one into play. Merzik played up by Warden. Urquhart from the left side, denied! The roof from Maggie Mendelson and Izzy Stark. And Penn State takes the first set, 25-19 over the Hawkeyes here from Rec Hall. On the set point of set 1. Now Mendelson trying to answer, and she does. Much needed point for Penn State.
Prior to that point,
a 5-time Big Ten Freshman of the Week, 3-time Setter of the Week, Izzy Stark. She got both those awards this week. There's the roof that Penn State was looking for. It's Mendelson and Hannah.
yeah, Penn State, not a team that typically loses the block battle, but they have so far, and Iowa's just dominated the net since the second set.
Merzik somehow covers that overpass swing from Urquhart. Mendelson will try to pay off the Penn State hustle with a point, but Iowa keeps it off the ground. Now Mendelson that time gets it in the back corner. Make that play. Eventually the point ends up going the way of the Nittany Lions. Urquhart touches it over. Stark going for the dump. Good read by Gallus to be right there for the Hawkeyes, but the rejection from Mendelson. Just clearing the net tape there is Urquhart. Mendelson with a donut kill. She's up to double figures now.
Taylor Tremmel, who at the top of the conference in terms of hitting percentage, gives a good serve. And it's Mendelson and Juravicius on the block. You see how far back Tremmel takes those serve and still gets it deep in Northwestern zone. Hazan underneath it, denied down. 3 chances at the net for the Cats to keep it alive. Taken 14 swings to get there, but it's still the way Penn State wants to go. 1 ball swing. Good block to get Penn State back to a tied first set at 21.
And we talk about momentum all the time, but especially in a first set as tight as this one has been, Merzik gets the kill, puts Penn State 20.
Spent most of her undergrad career at DePaul, currently with the Wildcats, and a good serve from Lauren Carter. Opens the door for the Cats in system. Here's Rousseau. Caught the block, also the tape, and Merzik gets Penn State back within 1.
But it's also tough from an off.
On 27 attempts, 10 errors hit negative. But as you pointed out right before first serve, the entire team, nice play by Mendelson, the entire team of Wisconsin, by far their season low at .094.
You see Penn State
came in here just a little over a week ago, sweeping Wisconsin. That ball is good, out of the middle by Mendelson, back in.
And that's the traits when you have the #1 recruit in the country last year come to Happy Valley.
See by Hernandez off the serve from Merzik, and the stuff from Hannah and Mendelson. Double block for Penn State, their second of the night. We're tied at 18.
Well, when you keep it balanced like that, that's how you counter it.
Jillian Grimes, one of Penn State's best servers behind the line. Terry sent back by the triple block of Merzik. Probably about as much as we've seen her play all season. Alongside of Jillian Grimes in that back row. Mendelson! Oh man, Maggie Mendelson on the overpass. Forget about it.
A salute to the grounds crew here at Rec Hall.
Absolutely.
Unsung heroes.
It's a thankless job. Raina Terry, roofed by the double block. Oh baby, Mendelson and Stark will try to seal it from behind the line for the Nittany Lions. Just clears the net tape. Illinois try to keep it up. Mendelson right there at the net. Fighting Illini, get a fist on it. Can they get back in rhythm? Mendelson to win it for Penn State.
The Ole Miss transfer has herself hit another gear since transferring to the Big Ten. Faldudo handles. Stark near side. Dug up by Rohrbach. Katie Scherer sent back. They had an opportunity on the swing.
Just dropped right inside, so you got to follow that ball all the way to the line.
That's another knuckled serve where the ball just bottoms out. Katie Scherer rises, but she's stuffed. Merzik doing it on the defensive side.
Yeah, Yeah, unfortunately, it was just that ball was just passed too far outside to make something else work.
First error on the day for Hannah. Oh, that's so easy. So tough from Maggie Mendelson.
That was just such a satisfying kill to both see.
Senior setter Zoe Wong has seen a lot more expanded of a role over the last few weeks. Hard roof from Mendelson. Russ had one of her own. That is a solo block, and now Maggie Mendelson gets in on the fun.
Let the ball out, you gotta commit to it.
Stark up. Mendelson down. Just pure termination.
Penn State out of system right here.
Hornung had an ace early. Good pass to Stark. Great effort from Nathan to Stark, and Mendelson finishing.
Again, we're seeing more and more middle attacks that are getting points for Penn State. I do want to note that Cameron Hanna got subbed in the backcourt, not for her defense. Right now, Penn State needs a little bit more offense. Take some pressure off of their front row, so we'll see if Hanna gets some sets in the backcourt.
Hanna there with the first contact, tight at the net. Mendelson trying to keep it alive, battling Colvin. There's Hanna out of the back row. First contact from Hornung. Chicoine trying to get it done, but man, Mendelson and Stark were right in her mug.
Yeah, the kiss of death set, low, tight, and in.
And his team trying to do maybe a little bit better job of that here in the third set to keep us going a little further. Speaking of matches, how about that one last night?
Yeah, it was volleyball at its finest, and I know it's a tough way to lose when you are just battling it back and forth, but that is Big Ten volleyball for you right there. That was quite the miss to go. You have your choice there. If the ball is set off the net, really easy to pick apart the defense.
Going to Chicoine in the back, and Mendelson reading that beautifully.
You know, when you're setting back row as your only out.
Magic number 25 as they're up by 5. 17-12, you see at the bottom of your screen. Barton the serve, Merzick the receive. Back set to a sliding Mendelson, and got it just down cross court in the quarter.
Just the same but opposite. So last set, Washington came out 3-1, but then Penn State moved it to 3-2. Different story in this one.
And a double stuff from Maggie Mendelson and Jess Merzick. On 7 swings prior to that. Can they get back into this one? Howery on the serve, tough receive from Faldudo. Merzick kind of takes a half-hearted swing to get it over. Now Ensley is sent back. Maggie Mendelson got the meat and potatoes of that. Izzy Stark was there to help out as well.
Washington was honored before with just a little flower.
Washington was in control a lot of the first set. Penn State has been thoroughly dominant in this second one. They're hitting .400. They've held Washington to negative .087, and that's not going to change here as Merzick and Mendelson put the roof on Bates, and they're up by 10. Alexis Howery for the Huskies. Maggie Mendelson! So it was coming to her from Jess Merzick. Penn State was out of system, but it didn't matter. Merzick missing long, knotted up at 19 with Maddie Ensley back to serve for the Huskies. Quick set to Mendelson from Stark. That was coming in a hurry.
And now the 20th time that Penn State and Washington has been tied.
10-all. Bays, who's been the tough server for Washington. Mendelson gets her off the line with the quick attack from the middle. And again, we haven't seen the middles get run a lot in this match.
Amani Bush has all the power on her end when she gets a good hit as well.
This is Bays on the serve, and she's been one of the potent ones for Washington. Penn State would like to quickly get her off the line if they can. Bush sent back by Penn State. The Nittany Lions do just that, courtesy of Mendelson and Juravicius on the double block. Get a look at that roof by what they haven't been able to do just yet. Merzick tips it over. Coming back, gonna be a joust. It's won by Izzy Stark. Stark and Bush as Amani was trying to get into position.
Jillian Grimes looking to continue a 2-point run to start for Penn State. That's a nasty serve. Lexi Rodriguez keeps it alive, but barely. Penn State back in a perfect position to the middle. It goes to the former Cornhusker. Maggie Mendelson out of the middle and loaded up. Have another look at this one.
Penn State is serving incredibly well. That's not
finding a new target this time. Going cross court, drops it in short. What a serve, what a get on serve receive. It pays off. Mendelson pays it off for Penn State.
That was a phenomenal serve from Beeson, but an even better pass on Penn State's side. They're getting worked short and deep, and the back row just came up to play this perfectly. That allowed
Kennedy Orr has been on a run so far for Nebraska. Out to the pin, a little bit disjointed on the side of Penn State. Taylor Landfair loads up, and Ava Faldudo tracks it down. Maggie Mendelson in the middle, what a dig for Harper Murray. Izzy Stark throws it out to the pin, makes it look easy. Cameron Hanna is dug up by the scrappy Malkin. Mendelson answers back, finally with a block.
Penn State's first of the night. It has been difficult to come by because Nebraska's been in system, and that's allowed this offense to be balanced, but out of system, a beautiful read.
Jillian Grimes, she's had a sensational outing tonight. Looking to tie it here for Penn State early. Merritt Beeson looking to swing her way out of trouble in a tight set situation. She gathers her team on their side. Tie game.
Merritt Beeson had a beautiful kill to open up this set.
That's why middles are key for Penn State. They have to get some involvement there to open up the pin. And there's a big serve from Merritt Beeson. Izzy Stark. What a play. Oh, Andy Jackson gets robbed off of an incredible keep up, and Penn State, the wall, perseveres.
Beautiful ball by Izzy Stark. Track.
Didn't want to say, we did see a Husker fan and a Creighton fan high five earlier. And that is a big time block from Selman. But it stays with Creighton, so a 3-point set. And here's Damrow serving. Grimes off target on the pass, so Stark retreats. Finds Martin out of system. Martin on the overpass, couldn't put it down. The Dom Simpson into a sticky block for Penn State.
Maggie Mendelson getting a massive part of that. Grimes trying to hyper middle up. Good move from Mendelson.
Mendelson on the slide. Lethal.
Beautiful run from Izzy Stark. What I love about this run is even when Stark is off the net, she still pushes this slide attack. Look where Stark is taking the
Highest height, but so disciplined as a blocker. Eloise Brandewie. Well, that's outside of her blocking range from Maggie Mendelson. Into a Blue Jay on that celebration. Flapping her wings on the way up on the bench for Creighton. Mater was ready to cover, back on her feet, and a free ball for Penn State. Stark for Mendelson. Straight fire out of the middle.
middles for Penn State look phenomenal early in the season, which is something that Izzy Stark has worked
to lose right now.
Penn State looking for a sweep in comeback fashion in this third set. Creighton 3 points away from forcing a fourth. Made her way back off the 10-foot line, and Martin is closed off by Mendelson.
What a big block up front. Mendelson making a huge read play out to the out.
Martin. Damrow digs. Creighton transitions. It's Martin on set point. It's kept alive by Stark. A tough free ball over. Not much Creighton can do with it. With Johnson blocks. Mendelson with a roar on the block.
Penn State fending off their third set point.
Selman at the service line. Jaya Johnson shut down. Juravicius got her.
That one's tight, and it's down. Maggie Mendelson, the senior middle blocker, throws it down where it came from. Here's a look at the head coach for Penn State. Hall of Famer coach bringing you the action here from Sioux Falls. What a serve.
Here comes, oh, she goes long distance. Oh.
What a setup, though, by Lyon. I like that attack. Addie Lyon, she's a graduate student and steps in a big moment. Did it every day in practice, and that's what it took to earn her starting position here at the middle blocking role. Wow, how about Maggie Mendelson at 6'5", joining the mix. Also a dual sport athlete. She'll be playing college hoops this year at the end of the college volleyball season. What do you think about
Martin's up there at the net.
What would you suggest, Martin?
I think Stark's going to set Martin. Let's see. Oh, set Metal.
Said Mendelson instead. Yeah. And that is why Izzy Stark is one of the best in the game. Just when you think you've got her under your thumb, you don't. Looking at it again.
So see how, if we're going to go be aggressive, let's go after a passer. If we miss it long.
And another over pass there for Kansas, taken care of by Maggie Mendelson. So Penn State, a different look to them. Penn State started school today, as you pointed out. Katie Schumacher-Colley says, well, we weren't there to be in class, so we should probably get back here later tonight. They'll be flying back after this match. Late night for the Nittany Lions. Tip to the middle from Mendelson. Out to the pin.
Oh, what an up by Selman.
Yeah, she's come out.
2 for 1, they win this match.
Ooh, and Mendelson comes in big. That's the first good connection we've seen in a...
They've got to get hands in front of her on a good pass.
Zelenovic, though, has been a menace the other way.
Here we go. There it is.
And they're avoiding the block of Zelenovic, which I think is a smart choice for Stark to keep it away from her.
She celebrated like she had a kill after that one sails out. And Penn State now with a 5-point lead. The big block again from Mendelson and Martin. Boy, that is just something to deal with. 6'5" and 6'6" on the right side. Tatum Parrott back to serve. And that is the connection that Penn State has been looking for. Mendelson quick out of the middle.
That was great. That was a great serve from Tatum Parrott.
From the sideline from this team, 15 players that absolutely love, breathe this sport of volleyball. So much fun to watch.
Boy, it felt like Maggie Mendelson was letting out some frustration on that ball. Oh, that's as pretty as you're going to find. Another kill in the middle for Maggie Mendelson. She had an outstanding game against Kansas. 13 kills
by Presley, who's really only playing 3 rotations at a time.
Martin, nicely done, flipping it up with her left hand. And then at the net.
High praise from Russ Rose on Brooklyn Delay ahead of the match, too. That's got to feel good. Seven-time national championship winning head coach. Out to the pin to Emmy Selman. Sarafa goes middle this time, keeping Penn State honest, and they are on it. Big Ten, very familiar with Penn State. Purdue transfer, led the Big Ten in kills last 3 seasons. Has plays great defense too, but Maggie Mendelson adds to her kill total, looking to get her going, and it looks like the Bear has been taking her out of the lineup.
Yeah, Penn State's got to find a way to keep the middle attack involved. I love the set from Addie Lyon because they kept the middle involved, even though Lyon stepping in right away, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does, and the difference is in height too. It's out of that in a moment. What a play from Cole, what a dig from Grimes. Maggie Mendelson, 3 in a row.
Keep feeding her until Kentucky has an answer. What's made it difficult too is Mendelson isn't hitting the same shot.
Her other brother plays for Virginia Tech. Athletic family. Let's see what Tuzzo does from the service line. Picks apart Emmy Selman. That's the target. Off high hands for Kentucky. Goes back to Penn, who goes right to the block. Denied. Emmy Selman motivated for Penn State.
Penn State needed to get this
time here for 2 sets, 2.5 sets maybe. Has 20 assists already. Back to serve for O'Brien. Off the block.
Maggie Mendelson is taking over this 3rd set for Penn State. When they needed a spark, they found it in the senior middle blocker.
Dylan Hunt and Lucy Shertuck. We're underway from Rec Hall as Lyon sends the opening serve over. Tough to handle for New Hampshire. Free ball from Shertuck. Lyon out of the middle for Mendelson, and she taps it over for the first point.
Yeah, we're going to go right back to the serve. And
Faldudo serves again for Penn State. On the back set for Homebound. Kennedy Martin with the dig. Out of the middle for Mendelson, off the hands and down.
One thing that stood out about Penn State's match against Kentucky, that 3rd set, Maggie Mendelson.
Out of the middle, Maggie Mendelson, look out! There might be a hole in the floor.
Just have to say, someone better.
Is finding the spots where Penn State is leaving open.
First contact from Selman. A miscommunication that Grimes sends a free ball over. Straight away, rejected by Maggie Mendelson at the net. Now to Rodriguez. Selman out of the back row. Easy dig from Cameron Lloyd. And a block from Mendelson and the freshman Alexis Ewing.
Championship winning team. It's not easy, but like we said, Penn State looking for a different change in leadership, and Alexis Ewing coming in firing.
And a block from Mendelson and Ewing again. Selman not really too big in the error department, but has struggled at times to get the points, only hitting 172 on the season. Maggie Mendelson, though, big swing, big power. That game you can also catch here on Big Ten Plus, that Friday night showdown between one of the newer members of the Big Ten Conference. Tapped over is Tucker. Back set, Mendelson finding the cross-court hardwood.
Jack, you need a free ball? Because it was coming for you.
I was talking with Jeremy Young before.
Can borrow my pen. Thank you.
Thank you for one of our photographers behind us.
Jack trying to get a ball out there.
We don't talk about that. And it looks like someone on Bucknell was in the net as Mendelson tried for the swing.
Time to try to take one back here and there, try to tie it up, and try to get that momentum back after the timeout.
Lyon sets for Mendelson. Slow speed, getting it over the defense. A year removed from their first national title in 1999. Frazelis gets roofed by the freshman Nichols, and it's match point for the Nittany Lions.
When you have the star, but it's not always as easy to connect right away. The new starting setter, beautiful set from Mocher, but it is stuff blocked by Kennedy Martin on both sides of the ball.
Now, Kennedy Martin is such a physical force up front. This plays out in her blocking ability as well.
Father played football. Penn State also in the NFL. Mauritz almost gets jammed, but gets the pass off anyways. Oh my, a one-on-one situation. Mendelson gets the stuff block.
It is so difficult to get a one-on-one stuff on a back row attack.
That's her 5th kill of the evening. Faldudo picking apart Dukes, who nails the pass. Stuff block from Maggie Mendelson on Babcock.
Maggie Mendelson is taking complete control of.
You know, Penn State won a national title with an undersized setter. It was Christian Carpenter who had coffee this morning with Addie Lyon, giving her advice on, wow, what a stuff block from Alexis Ewing, the freshman, making an entrance in state. Salmon throws it out of transition. System for Penn State. Salmon throws it tight. And Penn State saves a set point against Maggie Mendelson. Pizzell back to work at the service line for Pitt. Maggie Mendelson, you talked about the impact she makes when she hits the match, and there she goes again.
It's a really good connection as well between Mendelson and her.
Baldudo catches Mauritz. Olivia Babcock is denied at the hands of Emmy Selman.
Selman getting involved in all areas of the game. We've seen her great pass.
Mallory Myers, a sophomore defensive specialist, serving. Mendelson through the middle.
5'8" DS out of Huntington Beach, California. Tough receive. Lyon sends a free ball joust at the net. Pushed down by Maggie Mendelson and Kennedy Martin. I remember last year when we were previewing or getting to cover the tournament games here, the head coach for Yale, as Maggie Mendelson gets a nasty kill. The head coach for Yale, Aaron Appleman, asked if I played for the team, for the men's team.
They come to Rec Hall. It's tough to win here.
73-3 all time in postseason play is Penn State at Rec Hall, just to show what they can do in their house.
Around the block of Penn State, we noticed in the first set, Penn State was dominating the blocking game, and towards the end of the second set and in this third set, they've avoided the block of the Nittany Lions. Numerical order right now, Draper with 5, and then it goes 6, 7, 8, 9 with Aaron McNair up to 9 kills.
Lyon at the net, Mendelson slams it down. And great job from Penn State of backing up Addie Lyon.
Hitting 667 on the match.
Ends a 3-0 run for the Tigers. Nudicor sends the free ball. Lyon backsets Mendelson on the slide. Who has 12 kills on 667, hitting 3 blocks. Serves it off for the Nittany Lions. Overpass, terminated by Maggie Mendelson. Serving is Addie Lyon. Has 2 aces tonight, the only 2 for Penn State. Princeton has 5. Draper. Backsets Burris, she's roofed. Alexis Ewing and Maggie Mendelson. And Rec Hall just shook, I think.
And that one got sent straight down from Ewing and Mendelson.
Tough ranked losses and gained some confidence before Big Ten play, which starts for them on Friday. MAC play around the corner as well for the Chippewas. Ava Faldudo sends it off, and let's rock and roll from Happy Valley. Addie Lyon straight ahead for Maggie Mendelson.
Into action.
Mendelson off the slide. That's what the Penn State middles do best. Maggie Mendelson with her second kill on her.
That's now the 4th straight match that she has at least 1 ace in.
Her 7th on the season as well. Thomas tries to go on the slide. Set back. Caroline Jaravicious with the solo stop. She's 6'6", barely has to jump to get it over the net most times. Otherworldly talent from the 2-time AVCA All-American. And Kripe sent back.
In the middle, and that's not necessarily always the case.
Tied at 1, set 2. Penn State with a 1-0 match lead. At the net, Maggie Mendelson wins those battles more times than not.
I think her height comes into play there again, just a little bit of a hop, and she's able to.
The Big Ten All-Freshman last year, the former Nebraska Cornhusker. And Mendelson sends back the Central Michigan offense.
She is all smiles. You saw it on there. She's fired up.
Central Michigan hitting .318, so much better than the .034 from set 1. Sinking serve from Lyon. Thomas pushes it through. Nathan sends the free ball. Swears out of the back row and sent back
The roommates, Jaravicious and Mendelson.
Harder opponents, that rest can really make all the difference.
Taylor Kripe starts the scoring for Central Michigan. Maggie Mendelson starts for Penn State, though.
Maggie Mendelson dumping it over. I feel like, Jack, that's been much.
Olin having a good run serving. 3-0 run for the Chippewas. Free ball from Maggie Mendelson. At the net, number 44 in blue and white wins it once more. She'll check out for Jordan Hopp.
Free ball there.
Faldudo sends it off. Penn State trying to finish the job. Central Michigan trying to extend the match. Chippewas crashing into the table. Mendelson out of the middle. And it's match point for the Nittany Lions.
Mendelson sent that ball down hard. Chippewas is tough.
Mendelson out of the middle. Puts it on the hardwood. Straight ahead for Leah Ford. Sent back by Maggie Mendelson. You can see that she learned a lot from being under Taylor Trammell last year, the Big Ten first teamer. Again, a big swing from Mendelson.
Calling the ball out, but celebrating the little things is going to be very important for Penn State's success this year.
Messer trying to push through to Taylor, and she's sent back by Martin and Mendelson. 8 digs and a block as well to her name. Also has 2 aces. The outstanding freshman. Martin off speed. Taylor is rejected. Lyon and Mendelson. Cut down. Penn State's still up in that, but USC's made it a much closer volleyball game. Selman back row. Sky high dig from Decker. Here comes Mullen cross court, sent back. Maggie Mendelson. That was a big play. You can see Caroline Jaravicious yell, come on. 9 kills. They're all 8 or lower. But a very diverse attack from the Trojans. Out of the back row, Mendelson sends her packing. I apologize. The game has passed me by. Grimes gets underneath, the touch from Ford. Mendelson does the same.
Where her hands aren't facing up, they're pressed over, you have nowhere else to go.
Mendelson had a big block performance, 8 of them along with 7 kills in Penn State's win against UCLA last year in Westwood. Schumacher, another nice up. First contact from Martin, back set from Mendelson in rhythm.
That zone so it can spread the offense a little bit more and quit repeating quite so much.
Serve from Faldudo, and the overpass. Second straight match with 29 kills for Kennedy Martin. Selman. Jaravicious going long. Urzua. Grimes on the money for Lyon. Off speed from Martin. That's Ivkovic down to keep it up. Mendelson stepping up with a block.
Maggie Mendelson is a very strong anything with it.
3 straight points for Penn State. Addie Lyon trying to keep it going on her serve. Help from the tape. And that leads to the shutdown block for Jaravicious and Mendelson up front.
It seems like they're never out of system.
It's really difficult to get Nebraska out of system as one of the best passing and defensive teams in the country.
Selman deflected back by the block. Lyon goes right side to Martin. And there's Penn State's first point of the set. It comes from Maggie Mendelson.
Those are the kind of momentum.
In terms of the record, when you look at the context. I would agree. And you know what? Today, the calling card is play loose and free. There's no need to play perfect. Just control their side of the net, and they seem to be doing that.
Mendelson controlling that ball as she slams it down.
Well, that's a really great thing when you see the setter setting a quick behind. You want to use every space along the net. Super athletic, and she works hard on the little things. Her transition speed off the net is really impressive.
Martin, the 2-time All-American, transferring in from Florida. Mendelson!
serving game looks like here in the fourth set.
Tough serve. Terps handle it well. Free ball over. Mallowell met with the block. Off hands. Nittany Lions defense. Keeping him in it. Ewing. Mendelson makes no mistake about it.
I love the speed of her approach. I love the distance that she was away from.
Mallowell getting the same amount of attempts as Martin on the other side of the net. Again, it's the right side battle, but the middle's getting involved. Continues to be a key for both teams.
Yeah,
Mendelson with the kill.
Yeah, I think that'll be the difference maker in this match, is who can start setting up. Too much effort almost on that one. You've got to play your position and play it well.
Mendelson with a huge point for Penn State, tying things up. Mendelson, somehow Williams keeps it up. Mendelson sends it over to Martin. Maryland putting it all on the line defensively. Free ball. Mendelson says not today.
To go to that time, she set her middle attack for a big time point.
12th kill for Mendelson, one shy of her season high. Mallowell tries to send it deep. Mendelson, great defense. Mendelson again, tying the season high with her 13th kill.
It's the look of a determined Nittany Lion right there, Kennedy Martin.
The Terps need a response quickly. Coming up short.
These young players so businesslike, so mature. Sometimes Kelly Sheffield wants them to show a little bit more emotion and fire.
Done it all season long for you, and you want to get that confidence up, but honestly, on a good pass, I'm giving everything to Booth right now, but anything maybe out of system, give it to Collier.
That went to Vajagic, and it didn't work. Penn State's block has been huge tonight.
7 blocks now for Penn State, and this is a Nittany Lions team where they've really struggled defensively all year. That block
has been so fun to see so many different players shaking each other's hands, reconnecting after some time off.
Let's rock and roll from Rec Hall. Swing from Bullington. Under it's Jocelyn Nathan. Martin with a swing. Free ball from Gabrielle Gary. The other middle blocker. Right over my head, and the first point of the match. So one of 2 starting liberos for the Wildcats. Tim Nolan talked about kind of the balance of having 2 liberos and 2 setters as well. We'll touch more on that as the night goes on. Great dig from Kennedy Martin. Running up his Emmy Selman off the hands. Mendelson finds the hardwood.
No, don't use it, as she was confident that that play was not going to be overturned.
Again, it shows kind of the player-coach dynamic, trusting the players out on the court. Lyon sets for Mendelson. And how about Maggie Mendelson these past few games? Just really... Now the libero Drew Wright. Lyon for Mendelson. And now her and Martin are tied with 4 kills each. And kind of game by game, really getting a feel for how this Penn State team operates. Mendelson straight away. We highlighted her after set 1, making her name known in set 2 as well. Just 4th on the team. And Mendelson again out of the middle. They can't stop the former Nebraska Cornhusker.
Knowing that Penn State's going to need to make a few adjustments to get the momentum back.
Big swing from Martin. Great dig from the Wildcats. And a roof from Maggie Mendelson. Match out of the Tim Nolan timeout. Addie Lyon has 2 aces to her name, skims the tape. Navarrete over to Bullington. Grimes gets the dig. Mendelson out of the middle. And uses her signature move this season to extend the lead to 4.
Once again, a new timeout wasn't going to stop them.
Lyon trying to get the ace. Navarrete barely gets the free ball. Mendelson once more.
Navarrete able to get that ball over the net, just reaching into the crowd, but not able to get back in time to play defense. The team was off balance. Mendelson able to take advantage of a block not being there, putting the ball
Over Northwestern, if they can hold on, and that's a big if. Ava Faldudo serves. There's Bullington. Sent back. Jaravicius and Mendelson.
Northwestern really not able to get anything rolling here on.
Katie Martin, 24 kills. Faldudo, tremendous run from the serving area. Mendelson on the campfire, pancaked by Carter. Some great digs from Northwestern, but Mendelson, not if she has anything to say about it.
Definitely not something easy to do, but when you have a player like Kennedy Martin, you make some space.
You have to do it.
You have to put your best players on the court, and Gervasius, and not how volleyball is played. You can't play that way for 2.5 hours, but man, when you've got it, ride it.
I didn't realize this was going 2.5 hours.
That ball sneaking over and times that perfectly to hit overpass.
Better pass there, and it leads to a middle run for Mendelson.
Such a fast swing.
Who did touch it?
Exactly. Even that serve, for a second I thought that might have been in, but.
Looks can be deceiving here. Good pancake from Zoria Hurd. They put Alexis Ewing in the game. Penn State, she had a swing, and that's a solo block for Mendelson. People associate with Washington. She's been here for so long as a player, then as an assistant, now as a head coach. How has she kind of carried that?
This line judge, as she's walking across.
Maggie Mendelson extends the match. Penn State now needs 2 points. As the numbers check out, if we can just get the ball in the air on serve receive, he believes that his team can score out of system with regularity, and the numbers show that.
It's easier to go up and manage on a set that's tight to the net versus off the net. That was too tight. This might also be a little tight, but
they managed.
They managed.
Clemente.
Giving your hitters vision is just so vital.
But Mendelson to the floor.
We're seeing
Clemente, a career-high 6 aces last night. Mendelson once again. She is 4 for 4.
This is a serve with a lot of heat, but Penn State handles this really well. The pass is a little tight. Addie Lyon does a nice job, but 9, I mean, that's a huge load in a set to 25.
She has the amount of kills that a team might have in a bad set. I mean, just all on her own.
And 2 aces. I mean, double digits already in set 1. The defense typically stands not behind the block, but around them. And so that's area 6 was just wide open after they touched it.
Mendelson is now 7 for 12. Maggie Mendelson, double-figure kills, 4 straight matches. Perfect pass by Grimes, and Mendelson pays it off.
I love the way she competes. Only 5'11", but I think just plays a lot bigger than that. And talking to Coach Kirsten about who's the glue of this team, Sophie Myers is one of the first names he said. Just I think she's someone people look to. Where she's just getting caught low by her ankles. I want her to almost step 1 step up and maybe try and get underneath that just a little more, maybe off her heels a little bit.
Taylor takes the first one, so it's Shepard to Valette. Mendelson in transition. That connection is definitely getting better between Lyon and Mendelson.
A lot of opportunity to utilize so many players, knowing she can mix and match where they go on the court.
Smash down Mendelson from the middle, and it is her 5th straight match with double-figure kills, a career best streak for the Nebraska transfer.
All weekend, I
got bit by it too.
I am so sorry. Karis Willow.
0 for 1.
Let's give credit where it's due. Karis Willow.
Is that in? Yes, it is. And Penn State has made some headway here. Another 3-0 run. Tabachuk got put in serve receive. Right away, targeted. 4 straight points.
That's what kept Ohio State as close as they are here so far in the third set. Yoder across the tip, and it goes for the kill by Mendelson. Here were Mendelson's basketball numbers in high school or last year. Playing without Hannah Jones, they're trying to do it by committee. And they've done a pretty good job of it. In the middle, though, and Mendelson, she saw a wide open spot, just put the ball there.
Can't make mistakes like that.
Hasbrook, again, reacted well to that tough serve. Go there. Look at Dathan there on that flying dig. Pushed over by Selman. Ohio State should get a good swing here. Gunesh, but the block is there. Mendelson and Selman.
Block there for being in the right place at the right time.
Selman off hands. Grimes the dig. A hook shot by Mendelson. And the block for Mendelson with some help from Selman.
Maggie Mendelson's a dominant block.
See if it could get an 8th road win this season, which would be the most in program history. Been impressive for Steve Aird and company to get things done away from Bloomington. In the middle, Mendelson mashing one to the turf.
Mendelson was one that Penn State was missing on Friday night against Michigan.
Indiana took Penn State to a 5th set for the first time ever. Last year in Bloomington, a 4-setter. And both times, Mac, IU won the first set in both, trending that way early, but here come the Lions.
I remember that 5-setter from a couple of years ago.
You were a part. Off the tape. Big block. Mendelson up front.
Maggie Mendelson's a big.
What can you do as a setter when you know that? How can you get those more involved effectively?
Yeah, you got to keep other people involved. Exactly that. You've got to work them in different routes and in different zones. And then last couple points of the game turns it down the line. So smart.
Lyon for Mendelson.
Julia Kane now back to the service line. And a short set. And a great swing there from Mendelson as she gets her first involvement of the match. She's 6th in the Big Ten in hitting percentage, hitting a whop. Well, it's a race to double digits right now. Woolard and Martin both at 9 apiece. We'll see who gets to 10 first. Anderson, Woolard will get the first chance, blocked. Kennedy Martin saying, no ma'am, I will take that. A second 4-0 scoring run now for the Boilermakers as they look to run away with it. Sienna Foster serves it off the tape. Big swing in the middle from Mendelson and off of the bump from Heaney. It'll be point Penn State to stop the scoring run.
And Mendelson with her.
Mendelson, obviously a great volleyball player. She'll also be joining the Penn State women's basketball team when the season's over in January. Two-sport athlete in Pennsylvania as Penn State just able to keep it up off the block from Charles. Mendelson will keep it up. Outside, Martin, blocked by Charles, kept it up. And now free ball for Purdue. McAleer will receive. Taylor Anderson, short to Charles, blocked by Penn State.
To play front row for one rotation, and it's because she's really good on both pins.
From nearby Bloomington, Illinois, and that ball was terminated by Maggie Mendelson. Second time she's run the slide already.
The lefty, you can leave that inside so she can go get on top of that ball a little bit better.
It's a tough serve handled by Selman. Martin off the block, dug by Tompkinson. Over to Aguayo, 6th rotation freshman outside hitter. Tompkinson the dig. Aguayo the pass to the back row. It's Hernandez, dug by Grimes. Now Martin. Dug by Kirsch, it's in the net and knocked over by Tompkinson. Now Mendelson blocked but down on Illinois' side. Point Penn State.
Both teams are here to play. The defense on either side making crazy saves, trying to just keep it alive for as long as they can. I like Addie Lyons' use of her middle attack in the back row for the Illini because she's basically playing DS, passing, playing defense, but she's also an attacker. She's an outside hitter, so she serves a bunch of different purposes back there.
Penn State has been ranked in the top 25 of the ABCA coaches poll 561 weeks in a row. So if Penn State drops out of the top 25, it'd be the first time since 1988.
Unless they have to in out-of-system situations, expect a ton to Mendelson and Martin.
Hernandez, roll shot dug by Lyon, the setter. Martin, great dig by Kogan of Illinois. Hernandez blocked. Mendelson and Martin ready for her. Penn State calling for a back row attack. That, as you can see, was not called. Hernandez stuffed. Addie Lyon has worn a pacemaker since she was 14 when she suddenly went into cardiac arrest 4 times.
She's hitting at 471 at that. 20 kills on 34 swings. Just remarkable night after night after night. But Mendelson is able to make the stop.
Maggie Mendelson, what a block when Penn State really wants it. They're building the momentum.
Lost to this 100-year-old building. Jordan Taylor up the middle, but kept up by Penn State. Here is Martin, a punishing swing, but kept up by the setter Swenson. Up the middle, Maggie Mendelson, a force right now, and she is extremely fired up.
Get it, Maggie Mendelson. Such a great set here. Look at how she just
got a team high 30 on the season. Serve over from Nichols. Tooman comes to the back row for it. That's off the block. Lyon out of the middle for Mendelson.
Ultimately just went high and wide of the block.
As she immediately said, my bad. Tooman this time to the pin. Reese Webker high in the air. It's kept alive as Selman plays over the free ball. Joust at the net. Ohio State keeps it up. Webker again. That one's stuffed.
Being able to hit it in any type of way she wants.
Tooman for Gauthier. 3-0 run for the Nittany Lions with Emmy Selman serving. Tooman out of the back row. Jones rejected by Mendelson. Mendelson on the slide again.
Out of position like that, having to get back into position that late, that's when violations tend to happen.
Mendelson out of the middle. Was it in? It was. And Jones goes right at Juravicius. A perfect pass. And Maggie Mendelson slams it down out of the middle.
Martin obviously is going to lead the way, but having that versatility is going to be big.
Off the tape, kept alive by Jones. Webker with the free ball. Lyon. Mendelson on the slide. Perfectly placed. 4-0 run for Penn State. The 6-foot setter. Yoder on the serve. Lyon to Mendelson. Gauthier rejected.
24 kills. The go-to hitter for Penn State.
Maggie Mendelson has also been that throughout the season for Penn State. And Ohio State continues giving them trouble. On the slide for Mendelson. Taps it over and down. Not the usual power you see from Maggie Mendelson.
Yeah, typically really efficient. Still hitting .474. But missed on that one.
Gauthier rejected. Juravicius and Mendelson say no way.
Today she has 8 kills, hitting perfect zeros.
Maggie Mendelson out of the middle with her 13th kill. Lyon and Mendelson with the connection.
Kulik 6'4", another Poland native. Mendelson, awkward angle, gets it over. Berger sets to Bianca. Mumchalar sent back by Maggie Mendelson.
Be able to see that better and get more ups on her hard swings.
Brings up the setter long. First contact, Grimes. Mendelson out of the middle. And good luck stopping the former Cornhusker Maggie Mendelson. First contact, Juravicius. Can't fire from Maggie Mendelson. Gather around, number 44 gets another kill.
Back to your point about Michigan State being able to use so many players. As a team playing them, it makes it really hard to scout.
16 last year in the NCAA tournament. Sitting behind Yadhira Anchante and Marquette. A lot of chaos on the floor. Faldudo and Grimes almost run into each other. Now back to Mumchalar. Block kept up. Out of the middle. To Stanishevska, and nobody was home. Mendelson and Martin lead the way, and 2 points from a set 1 victory for Penn State.
Way thought that one went a bit further, but really.
Coming into the third frame.
I'm always so jealous of where they get to travel to.
Well, hey, you're going to Oregon this year. That should be fun.
Heard good things about Eugene, actually.
Comes Juravicius, pushed through. Covered by Mumchalar. A long set for Courtley. Nathan had to run up. Mendelson, another campfire. And 2 away from going up 2-0. And another timeout from Kristen Kelsey. After they face Maryland on Sunday, they travel out west to face Nebraska and Iowa to wrap out their regular season campaign as Mendelson out of the timeout ties it at 22.
We talked to Michael.
4 players for Penn State with double-digit kills tonight. It's been a balanced attack. Selman also with a double-double. Long sets for Mumchalar, and the block, and the win for the Nittany Lions. They take it in 3. A 25-23 set 3 victory, and the Nittany Lions take the W in their own house.
The Spartans leaving, probably upset, thinking they could have put up a better fight. But Penn State came out to play today. They kept it clean.
They're doing what they're normally doing. They're just missing on the execution of the line.
Juravicius 2 kills, 1 attack error, that being her first. Here comes Martin. Volleyball with a high arcing free ball under its Grimes. Lyon and Mendelson off the slide. And Maggie Mendelson, the senior. Step aside here on Big Ten Plus. Don't go anywhere, though. Has 4 digs and an assist to her name today. Floats one to the back line. Mendelson, powerful at the middle. Team able to find a spark with number 2 serving. Gotchin bumps one up for Melby from the midpoint. Mendelson going one-on-one with Allie Williams. Had to shake off the hand. A big hack from the senior out of North Ogden, Utah. Mendelson, this time saved by Wagner and Malawal. High arcing free ball. There's Mendelson again. And number 44 getting hot as well.
High arcing free ball.
Tried to save it. The Mendelson on the slide. And then terminated by Maggie Mendelson for Penn State. Float serve from Allie Williams. Mendelson will go one-on-one with Williams and win that time.
You can always tell just by the setup for Mendelson.
One of the top defensive setters in the country without question, Bergen Riley. Run the middle, Mendelson with the tip, and Maggie Mendelson just over the outstretched block gets the kill. Look at the difference in Landfair's hitting percentage, 322 against 218, 100 points better year over year. Great hustle by Bergen Riley. Crowd clears, Nebraska keeps it alive. On the slide, Mendelson. Great shot by Mendelson. Found the deep corner on the swing.
Beautiful shot from Mendelson. Awesome defense allowed that rally to really an X factor for Nebraska this year. The improvement in her game and how hard that she worked in the offseason to be the middle that she is right now, hitting over 400, 1.3 blocks per set, but also getting up in her production. How many kills that she's getting has made Nebraska tough because now they have two awesome middle options.
Love it. Off the top of the block goes Harper Murray. And I really liked what you see Terea Sigler out of the back row. Not down. Maggie Mendelson with the kill in the middle, with the comment you made about Alec and her.
Focus on recovery and take care of yourself too to make sure that you can keep that up.
I think it's the year over year where it's a bit surprising that she doesn't have sore shoulders or arms, you know. Big block. Mendelson shuts down Adriano.
Awesome play from Bergen Riley to chase that ball down. I think we've had 4 or 5 kind of highlights.
City, first winter storm of the season, and it's not even December. Great serve by Faldudo. McGrew the swing, a high carom off the Penn State block. Kennedy Martin's first swing is dug. Penn State won the first set 25-22. Second set back and forth as well. Amaral blocked. Caroline Juravicius and Maggie Mendelson in the middle.
Juravicius ready for this one. Watch her eyes, 14. Nothing to worry about. As a libero or a defensive specialist, your job is to serve and pass and play defense, and she is great at all 3 of those.
Amaral for Stojanovic in the middle. Here's Selman, tipped down the line, Amaral underneath it. Worden denied. Martin and Mendelson.
Serve and pass or practice or in a match, she has elevated. She's so mentally strong, and then she's able to go up at the net and put together different, really reach into that toolbox. So you talk about.
She's got a shot at 1,000 assists for the season, and this considering she wasn't the starting setter until the 3rd weekend of the season.
Doing an extremely great job of protecting the tape.
Van Zandt.
Hey, Alyssa Worden's your big, heavy arm. You gotta send it to her when you need a side out.
Great dig by Grimes on the swing by Stojanovic. And Amaral digs Martin from the Iowa overpass. Martin, a roll shot dug by Varez. Worden blocked.
Iowa is for her to read and react, come and put 6 hands, so a triple block on Kennedy Martin when she's up in the back row. So a little bit of a miscommunication from Iowa.
Worden is stuffed.